How's it going, everyone? It's Tommy from Weather Sponge Draft. Now, today is April 9th, 2021, and of course, today we're going to talk about the extreme severe weather threat that's going to happen in the Southeast later today and into tomorrow. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. So, let's begin by taking a look at the current radar. So, right now, it's currently 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Central Time, and you see that for now there's not really much of any severe thunderstorms happening right now. We do see some thunderstorm activity towards Florida and Georgia, and some of these thunder showers are heavy at times, so watch out if you're around these areas. Maybe slight chance of a flash flood threat, but I'd say it's unlikely, but still could dump heavy rain and could add on to the amount of water you already have near a river. So you need to at least be aware of that if you're under these rain squalls in Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. But none of these are severe, and this is expected to die out, mainly because there won't really be any driving force or unstable air to really redevelop any of these thunderstorms to the point where they're still going to bring heavy downpour or even severe weather. However, the area we're going to be watching for the rest of today is right around Arkansas, Louisiana, and into Texas, where we do see some thunderstorm activity beginning right around Texas, just east of the Dallas area, and we do see a little bit of a strong thunderstorm right around Mount Pleasant, and this could be severe. And if it isn't severe, more likely than not, it's at least bringing some wind gusts around 40 miles per hour. So you need to watch out for that if you're around the northeastern portion of Texas. But you see that for the most part, when it comes to severe weather, it's quiet. We do see some showers in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and even extending into the northeast just a little bit. But none of these storms are severe, but that's quickly about to change because, of course, we're still very early in the day. Typically, thunderstorms need a lot of water vapor and a lot of heat, latent heat, to rise up into the atmosphere to make the air molecules buoyant enough for enough lift in the atmosphere to occur and for severe thunderstorms to form right around the southeast. And that's exactly what's expected to happen later today once the sun continues to bring the shortwave radiation along the surface and heats up the surface to the point where it's going to really promote a lot of lift in the atmosphere. So if we take a look at the Futurecast radar, well, first let's take a look at the surface-based CAPE, which is also known as a convective available potential energy. Let's move on. Let's show you guys the loop so you guys get the better picture of the timing of when this convective available potential energy will be the highest in the southeast. And you see right now, we do see a decent amount of energy throughout Louisiana. We do see convective available potential energy right around 3,000 joules per kilogram, which is quite high, but there isn't really a cold front that's promoting a lot of that energy to rise up into the atmosphere and condense. However, that's quickly about to change once this trough that's moving through the Midwest gets closer and closer to the southeast and encounters the very warm Gulf of Mexico water, and it's going to steer a lot of that humid and convective available potential energy further northward, and that will be forced up by the cold air associated with the trough, and we're going to see thunderstorm activity throughout the southeast. You see the convective available potential energy is very high, and this is definitely going to promote a lot of thunderstorm activity and severe thunderstorm activity throughout the southeast, which includes Louisiana and Mississippi, where we do see some readings of over 4,000 joules per kilogram of convective available potential energy, which is just a lot of energy in the atmosphere just waiting to become a severe thunderstorm, or just waiting to form a line of clusters of severe thunderstorms. So you see a lot of convective available potential energy, and if we move forward, this convective energy is expected to even move further northward into Mississippi, into Arkansas, and even into Tennessee and Georgia could get involved in some thunderstorm activity as a result of how much available potential energy there is in the atmosphere. And this will continue throughout the day, where if we take a look at some of these readings in the purples in Mississippi, you see that we're close to 5,000 joules per kilogram of convective available potential energy, which is the highest in my opinion, I've seen all year. By the way, this is the NAM model, which I find more reliable to use during events which are only around within the 24-hour forecast range. And you see that based off of this, you see there's just a lot of convective available potential energy that's going to promote just a ton of thunderstorm activity. And if we move forward, this convective available potential energy will eventually wind down, of course, because the shortwave radiation of the sun, there won't be shortwave radiation from the sun anymore to really heat up the surface to force the air molecules to become more buoyant, and as a result, we're going to see less thunderstorm activity. However, that convective available potential energy may come back just a little bit towards the Carolinas, but tomorrow I'd say it's going to be nowhere near the severe weather threat as you guys are going to experience today. But since we're seeing so much convective available potential energy in the southeast, it's just going to promote just a lot of severe thunderstorm activity, and the Futurecast radar exemplifies this point. So like I said earlier, there's not much thunderstorm activity going on right now. There's not really much of any severe thunderstorms. However, once it's chopped from the Midwest, I'd say it's located right around Nebraska at this point. Once it moves further southeastward, we're going to see that cold air interact and create just a lot of severe thunderstorms in the southeast. So as you can see, we're going to see that lift in the atmosphere, and we're going to start to see the first line of thunderstorms form right around 4 p.m. on Friday or later today, which isn't very far from right now, which is and we're currently right around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're only around 2 to 3 hours before the thunderstorms really begin to develop in the southeast. So this should be mainly a late afternoon to early evening threat for you guys. And you see that going into 6 p.m. we do see a pretty well-defined line of thunderstorms form right around the Mississippi River Valley. This extends to Louisiana, Arkansas. Moving forward, you see even more thunderstorm activity occurs, and then a second line of thunderstorms forms right behind this first line that initially formed. And this is expected to be the more potent line, because this is when the trough is going to be further southward to interact with that very warm air. And you see that there's just going to be a lot of thunderstorm activity. Flash flooding might be the issue in certain areas. I wouldn't rule that out. Large hail certainly is a possibility, and tornadoes are also certainly a possibility with this when we're talking about this much unstable air and convective available potential energy in the atmosphere, where there's going to be just very strong updrafts to promote just very strong wind shear, and as a result, tornadoes are certainly possible throughout the southeast from this severe weather threat. So in terms of your chance of severe weather throughout the southeast, let me show you guys a map right now, my map of where the severe weather will exactly occur. So as you can see, this is my severe weather map of where I expect the worst severe weather to occur. And you see that the worst of the severe weather should be throughout central Mississippi. This extends to southern Arkansas and into central Alabama as well, where I listed not just major severe weather to occur, but extreme severe weather. There's just going to be a lot of energy in the atmosphere to promote just large hail, very damaging winds, and possibly tornadoes. Let's take a look at the chances of a tornado by taking a look at the wind shear forecast provided by the GFS model. So if we move forward, you see there's a pretty well-defined line of thunderstorms. If you take a look at the winds in the lower levels and the upper levels of the atmosphere, you're going to see that there's quite a bit of wind shear within the atmosphere, because a lot of surface winds are primarily coming from the west. But if you move into the mid levels of the atmosphere, you see that the wind drastically shifts more from a southerly direction, and this is the type of wind shear that could certainly produce tornadoes. Let's take a look at another location where there is a possibility of tornadoes. Let's say right around the Mississippi River Valley, right around Jackson, Mississippi. You're going to see that the wind shear isn't as strong earlier. I'd say during the thunderstorm formation, there is definitely some shift in the winds in the mid levels, but the change in wind speed isn't as strong, but still there's certainly just enough wind shear for a tornado threat throughout the southeast. Let's take a look again at the wind shear throughout this area, and you see that the winds in the upper levels definitely do shift between the surface, and there's just a lot of just wind shear within the atmosphere to promote a tornado threat. So you guys need to pay close attention to this. I don't think it's going to be, let's say, an extreme tornado outbreak like maybe like the ones we saw in previous severe weather outbreaks in the southeast, the ones we saw in March, but this still certainly should, it's likely to produce at least a couple of tornadoes in the southeast from this. So keep that in mind. Damaging winds will certainly be the issue, where, like I listed right here, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts should be expected. Large hail and tornadoes are likely within this area, and you guys need to pay close attention to this. If you have any plans in the afternoon, you at least want to consider maybe moving those plans to another day, because this severe weather threat will be quite strong, and you see moderate severe weather further to the north, which includes even Missouri, a lot of Tennessee as well, and this even includes the panhandle of Florida, New Orleans. So just because you're not in the extreme does not mean you won't experience severe weather and minimal severe weather threat further northward, as there won't be as much unstable air or as much warm air to promote lift in the atmosphere further up northward. But still, it is going to be a large severe weather threat impacting a lot of people. And taking a look at when the worst of severe weather will occur, you see that today will be primarily the big day when it comes to severe weather, as the next few days the severe weather threat will certainly wind down, fortunately, as tomorrow there's only a slight chance of severe weather throughout the panhandle of Florida through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and then day 3 most of the severe weather should be gone, which is good news that this won't be a long duration severe weather event, as today will primarily be the main day when it comes to severe weather. But make sure to just pay close attention to any warnings and advisories issued for your area in the southeast. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it for this video. I hope you guys in the southeast stay safe and be aware of this, and I thank you guys for watching, and make sure to continue watching and like this video if you enjoy it, and I hope you guys have a good day.